On today's episode of Watch Jericho, we are here to solve a major problem. My brother's Yamaha Venture is the most rickety bike I've ever ridden in my life.
It is not.
What is going on, guys? I am Watch Jericho, and today we are here with my brother's Yamaha Venture that was originally my grandpa's Yamaha Venture, and they have put a crazy amount of miles on this thing. It goes across country with us every year, and last year we were on our yearly trip to Springfield, Illinois to watch the Springfield Mile, and these front brakes are just the worst thing ever. That's the real problem here. The second you touch the pedal, it tries to like lock the bike up. So apparently Jared's done some research and he put new pads on it. That didn't solve it. Everyone said it is the fluid, which is pretty rare. The fluid would make that big of a difference. Maybe there's a bunch of water in it or something like that. Obviously, it's all, well, how old is this brake fluid? Never changed?
I've never changed it.
He's had this thing for like 10 years. I change motorcycle brake fluid like non-stop because it's so much fun and because I have the world's greatest brake fluid and, you know, the highest temperature. 700 degree .4 from Motul RBF 700. That is an incredibly rare brake fluid and it solves all problems. So we're gonna get this thing open. It might make a mess if we don't level the bike, I guess. Bring it. Sight glass looks pretty
Dirty?
worn, dirty.
Oh, I'm sure this fluid is disgusting.
Yeah, it's probably 20 years old, isn't it?
Oh.
Ooh, that is goo. That is not fluid. It smells bad too. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it smells horrible.
It's weird for brake fluid to smell bad.
All right, you got a rag?
Yeah, I'll get you a rag. We'll give you guys a good look inside there. That is some grody fluid right there. The bottom looks really, really bad. So
I wish I would have done it before I put 963 miles on it this weekend.
1,000 miles in a weekend, not bad.
It's gonna be 1,000. I'm gonna ride around until I hit 1,000 miles.
Gotta get that last 40 miles. Yeah, that was 2 days though, not a one-dayer. When I tell you guys the front brakes were grabby, it felt like it was trying to fold the front end up under the bike. Like there's no modulating it. It's just
It's not fun.
No, it's not good. Not good. So let's suck the old fluid out of here. We're gonna use the Mighty Vac to evacuate the chamber here, the reservoir, and then we'll bleed them and should be home free. Hold the canister there, and I'll just put this down in the bottom and then just squeeze it a bunch, and you're almost out. Old fluid out, and we'll wipe that out with a paper towel and start getting everything out of the system. I don't know how you got smelly brake fluid.
Oh, it smells horrible.
Did somebody put differential oil in here or something at one point?
Yeah,
That's what it smells like.
Like, not the synthetic kind.
Gross. The reservoir looks much better after a little bit of wiping, and now we are ready to install our RBF 700. Almost all the way to the top. Cool. Let's bleed this thing. Grab some napkins. We got an 8 down here on the bleeder. God, that brake handle is worthless, isn't it?
Pretty much. You just gotta know how to run it and be ready for it.
Yeah, apparently. Okay, let's try the other side.
Oh my.
I
Oh my.
I know, it actually works. That's hilarious. What are you doing?
Things I should have done years ago.
Yeah, I like how this is a 5-minute job that costs $36 for the best brake fluid in the
Never
world.
done it.
Yeah. Flip the cassette over, and round 2. I'm expecting this one to have a lot of dirt in it because the other one wasn't that bad. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, again. Again. Again.
Hey.
Everything down here looks really good. That's not too bad. It's not the worst looking fluid. Putting the reservoir back together here. Ariel needs one of those.
Definitely comes in handy on those long rides.
You need like needle nose to pull that off. Almost. Nice. Man, that cover's pretty clean. The way it all goes together. The bikes that only have the rubber are always like leaking a little bit and don't look as pretty with their cover on. So we think we've got it. There's still a little bit of like choppiness as the master goes in. If you, oh wow,
It's definitely better.
that is way better. A second ago it was still like, but it seems like it's great right there. And the grab, I could watch the pads move. It seemed like it was linear and nice and simple. So I think this is sorted. Let's go test ride it. You need to test ride this over to the detail bay and let the detail dudes do their magic. Yeah. It's just covered in dirt. Ooh-wee. Also, it's a touring bike and it's straight piped.
It's not straight.
It's basically straight piped.
Way better.
It's way better?
Way better.
Nice. If you guys used to watch some of the old videos where we would go on the family trip every year, you can see this bike shoot flames in decel, which is kind of hilarious. And he says it's not straight piped, but it shoots flames.
Whoa!
It's still grabby, but
No, I grabbed it. That was me.
that brake fluid,
That's the best brake feel I've ever had.
every time I change to that brake fluid, it works better
Wow.
than anything else in the world.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow, it's a whole different bike.
I promise you guys that's not an exaggeration or like a made up reaction. Every bike I change to that brake fluid, 660 or 700, it stops like 10 times better than anything else. I mean, there's a reason that no racing team runs anything but Motul RBF 660.
Whole different bike.
Well, there you go. I honestly figured that's why you wrecked that one time that you went through that corner, and I figured like the front end was just grabby and it was impossible to control.
It was a combination of several things,
It was, but
including me not knowing where we were turning and the turn being right here.
with another bike cutting you off in the turn. Yeah, I know you got cut off in the turn, but should be better now.
Oh, miles better.
Whole new bike. All right, have fun.
Thanks for the brake fluid.
See ya. Later. Welcome back to another edition of Watch JR House. It's been a long time since we've done a house update or had to work on the house, but today I'm here to rebuild this whole toilet. So this is an extra bathroom in my house. It's beside the empty room where we put all the Audi R8 parts while we were working on it. This bathroom hasn't really been used in about 3 years, which means the toilet like slowly drained all of its water down. There was a big methane spell the other day, so I came in here and flushed the toilet to, you know, fill the trap back up with water, solve the problem, and you know what happened. Let's pull the cover off the toilet and I will show you what happened. Also, as you would expect, this is a spare bathroom, so I've got the 3-in-1 in here. You know, the ultimate men's care formula right there. So you can already see what happened, but I came in here and slapped the handle and yeah, the floating drain cover there. The floating clapper. So let's go ahead and shut this business down. We're just gonna turn the water off to this guy, and then it looks like I may need to go buy a hose. I did not realize this toilet was hard-lined. I hate it when people hard-line toilets. It might look cool, but man, what a mess. So, got this thing about empty with the dancing flapper. I could just toss the new flapper on from the Fluid Master setup. Obviously, these things like never break again. It's the ultimate toilet repair kit, but instead I think I'll do the whole setup and make it nice. So let's get after it. This is the only toilet left in my house that hasn't been converted. So you don't have to do all this work like I was saying. You could just do the flapper swap, which takes about 3 seconds. Unhook the chain. I don't know if you guys have ever done this before, but good info if you haven't. And then you just pull this off the stud right there, and that is the flapper. The old one is removed. Throw it in the sink over here. And to replace it with the new one, pull this paper off of the new one, set this thing in there, and snap it on. Like so. And that one will never fail again. And then you just set the chain height, just move this clip down on the chain until this is all set up correctly, and it flushes quickly with the handle. So if I wanted to, I could just turn it back on right now and this thing would be back in service in 10 seconds. Instead, we do it the hard way and disassemble the entire thing. Take out the whole valve and everything and put in the fluid master valve. So we've got a bunch of paper towels here. Obviously, you need to get all the water out of the bowl so that you can, out of the tank that is, because when you pull the valve out, it all dumps out the bottom if you don't. So I'm just gonna use this paper towel, get all the water over to the sink, and then we'll be ready to rip everything out of here. Well, you guys know the drill. The water shutoff valve's not shutting off all the way, and I had to buy the line anyway, so this $9 repair was $50, and we're gonna put in a new quarter turn valve, which is what all valves should be, of course. Everything that's not quarter turn is junk, and a new flange, and the stainless braided line, and this copper pipe framer just because it makes life easy. So let's go shut the water off to the house and pull the valve off. Again, I got rid of the garbage valve and we have a quarter turn. Drain the whole house down, popping the compression fitting off, then popping the valve off. All hard lines. Man, none of this wants to come apart because it's all been on here for 30 years. You will literally never believe, okay, yes you will, it's me. Those idiots tightened the fitting so tight I had to sawzall the entire line set off of the bottom of the tank. But I won! You'll never defeat me, toilet man. Anyway, after you defeat the level 49 toilet boss, you just drop this thing in. The rubber washer goes on the bottom and adjust it until this little line right here is 1 inch above the overflow tube. Put the nut on it. Hook everything back up, install your new valve, use some emery cloth to clean up the copper pipe, hit that compression fitting, plug in the tube for the fill, and that's basically this. Really not too big of a deal. I do love my 100% copper plumbed house, but sometimes it's a bit of a mess. Try to make this as pretty as possible here. There we go. Time for the water line and the valve. First fill, we got a new beauty ring on there, quarter turn valve, stainless line. Oh man, how did I nail the water line almost? I could bring it up a little bit more. Which way's up? Luckily John was here because I put that quarter turn valve on and was like, all right, I'm gonna go turn on the water. I turned it on. I did turn it on, and there was a geyser in the bathroom. So if I wouldn't have had him there, this bathroom would have been full of water. It went like almost all the way up the wall. It's pretty impressive.
Good pressure.
All right, let's test this thing. Anyway, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjericho.com where you get cool shirts not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And I'll talk to you next time.
It sure looks like she works now.
Turning those 30-second jobs into 2 hours. But hey, she's all done. Also, huge shout out to whoever hopped on Amazon and sent me a case of amp and a case of snacks. These are amazing.